Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. If you've seen others of my videos, welcome back. And today we're going to continue with some beers from Kanazawa Prefecture. Kanazawa City in Ishikawa Prefecture. And those are beers from Oriental Brewing Company in Kanazawa. Kanazawa is a small city in the Noto Peninsula of Japan, on the Japan seaside of the country. And it is a very pleasant small town. It's often referred to as a little Kyoto. It has a wonderful series of what we call tea districts. There are at least 3 in the town. And it's got one of the best parks in Japan as well, and for most people you'd say a park isn't terribly exciting, but this one is really a pleasant place. It's got the 21st Century Museum of Art, which always has all kinds of exhibits there, and it has a wonderful market, fish market as well, where you can get lots of different kinds of very fresh fish, and you can have sashimi or sushi, and our favorite is this a donbori, or a kind of sashimi on top of a big bowl of rice, and it's absolutely wonderful. So Kanazawa is a nice city to visit for sure, and it seems to be becoming more popular with tourists. We were there in November of last year, and there were tourists from all over there for sure. And Oriental Brewing, let's get back to them here. Oriental Brewing, they started in 2016. Kanazawa didn't have much of a craft beer scene until then. There are now 2 or 3 different companies there. And don't want to confuse them with Oriental Brewery, which is a very large Korean company owned by AB InBev, a mass market beer company which produces Cass beer in Korea. Oriental Brewing has 12 beers on Rate Beer, but they do have more untapped lists, as many as 40 beers, and I think some of them might be duplicates. But they were established in 2016, and they have 3 pubs in Kanazawa. They have one in the Higashiyama area, and one in the Korimbo nightlife area, and another one in Kanazawa Station. And that was the one I visited when I was there in November in Kanazawa Station. We had dinner there, and I was able to try a number of their beers, and I'm pretty impressed overall. So they have been expanding. They have a new brewery. Their original brew pub was in the Higashiyama pub, but now they have a larger one in the Yuwaku Onsen area, just outside of town. And so they are kind of expanding their footprint a bit in the area. You don't see them much outside of that area, but if you visit Kanazawa, you might want to give them a try. And today's beer, and this is the last of the 4 that I'll be reviewing from them, is called Oriental Kaga Boucha Stout. And this is, Boucha is a kind of tea, and Kaga refers to it's the old name, traditional name for the region around Kanazawa. This has only 2 ratings on Rate Beer, and the average is a little bit high, 3.55, and it is in the stout category, simply a stout, not a dry stout or imperial. Stout as 5% and 22 IBUs, so not a terribly bitter stout, but I think we should open this up and give it a go. So it's kind of thin. You can see the pour here, I think. It's not completely opaque. Okay, it's got a very substantial head. Maybe a bit more than I'd like to see in a small stout. So this is at least 3 fingers. 3 fingers of head. Sort of dark tan head. Very spongy. Nothing sticking at all. Okay, aroma. Okay, I get, right off I get coffee, light coffee, very mild chocolate, very mild dark chocolate. And I'm assuming the tea is producing something similar to the coffee note that I'm getting. That's probably responsible for that. This does not include coffee at all. It has barley malt and unmalted barley, hops, and this Kaga tea. Okay, it comes out with a very pleasant kind of moderate chocolatey note right away. In mid palate it kind of steps up and the tea kind of kicks in. It's got something pungent in the back of the throat. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming it must be the tea producing some kind of extra flavor in mid palate. Thins out. The chocolate note maintains throughout. A little bit, not syrupy, but kind of a thin layer of chocolate throughout initial, mid, and final. Pretty pleasant, very drinkable, light, 5%. So you could have a few of these easily, without getting wiped out. Yeah, very nice. The tea does not overwhelm as it can in, some people put things like Earl Grey or other teas in there, jasmine tea, for example, in their beers. In a heavier beer or something thicker like a stout, it can complement the flavor, I think, and rather than overwhelm. Very decent stout. You might want to give this a try if you get to Kanazawa, and I hope you do someday. It's a wonderful town. Again, this is Oriental Brewing Kaga Boucha Stout, 5%, 22 IBUs from Oriental Brewing. Give it a try if you happen to see it. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.